Welcome back to the Valley Sports Plug Arizona Cardinals recap for Week 5. Today is Sunday, October 9th, 2022. The Arizona Cardinals 2-2 were taking on the Philadelphia Eagles 4-0 here at home in State Farm Stadium. The final score was 20-17 with the Eagles squeaking out the win over the Cardinals. Heartbreaking loss as Matt Amendola missed a 43-yard field goal that could have sent the game to overtime. Just a quick look at the box score. Kyler Murray with 28 completions on 42 attempts, 250 yards, and 1 touchdown passing. He had 4 carries for 42 yards. James Conner had 9 carries for 55 yards before going out. He was really carrying the weight on the ground. Hollywood Brown with 8 receptions, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. Rondale Moore, 7 receptions, 68 yards. Zach Allen with 8 total tackles, 8 solo tackles, and 1 sack. Very good. Byron Murphy and J.J. Watt combined for a half sack each. On the other side, for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts with an impressive 26 completions on 36 attempts, 239 yards, 15 carries, 61 yards, and those 2 first-half rushing touchdowns. Dallas Goedert was getting everything he wanted with 8 receptions, 95 yards. Devontae Smith snatched 10 receptions for 87 yards. Miles Sanders slammed it on the ground, 15 carries for 58 yards. I think the Cardinals did a pretty good job of plugging him up on the ground. And Haason Reddick, his one and only tackle on the game was a sack against Kyler Murray. As you know, Haason Reddick, a former Arizona Cardinal. I'm sure that meant a lot to him, but like I said, just his only tackle in the game. All right, and just looking at the game from a broad overview, in the first quarter, the Cardinals punted to start out their opening drive. Eagles scored that Jalen Hurts touchdown right up the middle, like I said, to start the game. Kyler Murray came out a few drives later with an interception, and Jalen Hurts that second touchdown. So quickly down 14-0 to start the game. Hollywood Brown would quickly answer with a touchdown, making it 14-7. So with a chance going into the half, we had to settle for a field goal. That made it 14-10 Eagles at the half. Now, the Eagles did get a field goal in the third quarter, which made it 17-10. Eno Benjamin was able to tie it up in the fourth quarter, making it 17-17. And with just a minute and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Eagles would take the lead, 20-17, being the last score of the game. As, like we said, Matt Amendola missing that heartbreaking 43-yard field goal, the chance to tie and send it into overtime. Mike, I know you have some strong feelings about this one, so I'm going to give you the space.
I am impressed with what this team did this week. Once again, the defense has been the strong point. Isaiah Simmons finally getting a little bit more time on the field, had 13 tackles today, bottling up the run, keeping A.J. Brown not to his same effectiveness within the past couple of weeks. You're going to get what you get with the injuries that we have right now. You know, our offensive line, it seemed like Kyler Murray was scrambling way too quick. He had no pocket to step up in and was consistently pushed to the outside, and he couldn't make plays. The slow starts, once again, putting yourself behind 14-0 early, basically getting 11 yards off 5 plays, kicking it, and then first play we come back out on that second drive, you throw a pick, and you're down before you know it. This team has to figure out a way to have a complete game, because once they get the wheels turning, it seems like they know what's going on. So I don't understand how we can't come out and just really bring the juice and bring the effort for the full game. But we still got some time to figure things out. You know, Matt Amendola, it sucks, right? It's a heartbreaker, but what do you expect when you bring a guy off of the street who hasn't been on an NFL team and it's week 5 and he's not signed with anybody. He's not on, I don't even know if he was on a practice squad. That sucks because that's a really general kick to make in the NFL. But I liked what Justin Pugh came out and said, where it's like, it's not one fucking guy, right? Kyler Murray, how about we not slide? How about you just ensure that you get the first down, dive forward, take the hit, I don't know, then get up, clock the ball, maybe see if you can take one extra shot before you kick that field goal. Just plenty of things that we could have done differently in this game. The one true thing that I am very disappointed in this game, I think we talked about it in the Heat Check podcast before the season started, where I said, I feel like this is the best fan base where the Arizona Cardinals fans show out more so than, Phoenix Suns or Diamondbacks when those teams are bad. And to be 50-50 split, almost having that entire stadium taken over by Philadelphia Eagles fans, it's just sick. And it makes you understand why this team hasn't won in basically a calendar year there, because they have no home field advantage. It's like they're playing on the road every week. So not too high, not too low. But we're getting close. We're getting close.
It's hard to be too upset when you hold the best team in the NFL right now, you could say, to a 3-point, being within that close to going into overtime. There's a lot of positives. Our defense is playing really well. It feels like the offense is starting to make those improvements and those adjustments. So I'm optimistic. Like I said, it's hard to be too upset from that loss today. Tallman, what are your feelings on the game and everything that happened?
We'll go positives first, okay? I was quite impressed by the defense today, and which was crazy watching the beginning of the game. It's like, oh, here we go. We're down 14-0, and I will gladly eat every single word I said yesterday when we recorded that podcast, when I said we're going down 17 zip, we're going to lose by 2 touchdowns. I'm glad that I'm sitting here right now eating those words, because obviously I'd rather see us be competitive and keep it, make it a close game. But watching that first part, I mean, we're down 14 to zip with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And I'm thinking, here we go. This is it. This is what's going to happen. We're going to lose by 2 touchdowns, 17 points, who knows. So I was impressed that we could hold, arguably the hottest team in the NFL to a season low for them, I think it was like 340 total yards, which was their season low. So that's great. And we keep seeing this defense, I guess, not okay, it exceed our expectations. How about that? I mean, they kept Cooper Cup to not a lot of yards. I mean, people aren't really torching us like they're torching other teams. And we knew this game was going to be a really, really tough matchup. And I'm proud that they could keep it that close. Another positive, that Marquise Brown touchdown, incredible. He's worth every little bit of that first round pick. And props to Steve Keim for making that trade, because that is really paying off. And I can't wait to see him and D Hop line up on the line of scrimmage and play together. It's gonna be so great to have those two, and he's really been amazing for us. Um, so those are the positives. You want to go to the negatives? Mike, you touched on it a little bit. My biggest takeaway is why is he sliding? If we don't have to face that 4th and 1 and kick a 43-yard field goal with the guy that, like you said, was sitting on his couch a week ago, it'd be a whole different story. And then we'd be talking about something completely different, because we would have a whole overtime quarter to talk about it. So I don't get it. Why? I know okay, so it's like, oh, Kyler Murray is so good at not getting a hit, not getting hurt, not doing this and that. But he needs to recognize where we're at in that game. It's first down, or who knows? And he knows who's going to kick that ball if we have to kick a field goal. Everybody knew that. Yeah, Amendola hit a 20-yard field goal, a chip shot, less than an extra point. So I don't understand why he's not taking that hit, trying to get those extra yards, and he's going to slide. And I looked at so okay, when we were watching it, I thought for sure he had the first down. I saw a couple screenshots. No, they marked it right. That was the right call. That he was definitely a yard short. But why is he so scared to get hit right there? That's I don't know. That's the most frustrating part of it, is he needs to recognize where we're at in that game, and he needs to, like Mike said, he needs to dive forward. He needs to take that hit. He needs to truck into it and make sure that first down happens, because if that happened, we're totally different. Maybe we get another 5, 6, 7 yards, and Amendola has a much easier kick to do. The other negative is the damn Fox broadcast. We were watching it, and they showed Amendola miss like 6 kicks in the warmups before the game. and they were all wide right, and they literally showed him missing all these kicks. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because they iced him on the first attempt. Well, he never actually got the ball off, but they iced him, so they had some time to whatever. So then the Fox broadcast goes, "Oh, let's look at Amendola in the pregame warmups. Oh, look at him." They literally showed him miss like 5 or 6 kicks, and they all curved tailed right. And guess what happens when it's time when the game's on the line? He kicks it and it tails straight right, and we miss him. We lose the game. So I'm not superstitious. I don't know if that's. I'm a little stitious, right? Um, Obviously the players on the field, they don't know what's going on in the broadcast, but it's like, come on, man. It's like that's so Cardinal-esque that it's like that. Oh, look at him in the warm up, and then it happens and it comes to fruition and we lose because of that. That was the biggest negative. I think Kyler Murray could have done a lot more. He should have got that first down. Other negative, I'm kind of worried about the running back room. James Conner going out with that hip, or excuse me, with the rib injury, and he got it on that 17-yard run, and he fell. They said he fell on the ball, is what it looked like, and he was in the locker room during halftime, couldn't breathe, was in obvious pain, so he didn't come back. So that's concerning. Darrell Williams got hurt too, and he was the one that got that crazy fake punt. It totally surprised us when we were watching the game. When Cliff Kingsbury is going to make another gutsy call, which it paid off. If it didn't pay off, we'd be talking about that as well as a negative. I mean, you're going to do a fake punt on your own 25-yard line. But Darrell Williams got hurt. He went out with a knee injury. And then, what was it? Jonathan Ward got hurt as well. What I think was a hamstring. And then you also have Eno Benjamin, where Cliff Kingsbury is in the post game. And he's sitting there like, yeah, Eno was cramping up the entire second half. So you have.
Oh, man.
You have every single running back on your rosters is banged up. So that's very concerning. If you can't run the ball, we have no chance. So especially when Kyler Murray doesn't want to run the ball at all. And then when he does, he wants to slide and avoid every little bit of contact that he possibly can. So they call it a heads up play. Kyler Murray did a heads down play. He did not. He needs to recognize the scenario that he's in, and he needs to get that first down no matter what. I don't care if he breaks his fucking finger. Excuse my language. He needs to get that first down because we're talking about a 3-2 team, and we're going to shock the world if we won this game. Like I said, to start, this is great. Normally when we talk about losses, it's really negative, especially with how this season's gone. But I think we showed a little bit of progress. Really proud of that defense, and we almost got it. We almost pulled it off. And it was a really good opponent tonight. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can pull off that win in Seattle, go 3-3, get D-Hop back, match him up with Marquise Brown, and hopefully we can just run from there.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it coulda, woulda, shoulda. It would have been a huge statement win is what you can say. I agree with your concerns about the running back room. It's going to be real interesting to see how they address that going forward. The expectations were real low going into this game, and the result was way better than expected. So losses suck. It's starting to seem like there's reason for optimism. D-Hop's coming back. So we're going to have to see. Week 6, the Cardinals are traveling to Seattle to take on Geno Smith and the 2-3 Seahawks. We have the same record, so we could be hitting that 500 mark by the time we get D-Hop back. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I am Chris Patrick for Michael Benjamin and DSP Tallman. We'll see you next week.